my creative friends, and welcome back to Zen and Creativity YouTube channel, your daily source of artistic inspiration during the Inktober Tangles 2023. I'm Yehudit Steinberg, your Certified Zentangle Teacher, and it's an absolute delight to be here with you once again. If you're enjoying our videos, please consider liking, subscribing, and ringing that bell of notification so you never miss a moment of creative exploration. We're dedicated to making the Zentangle method accessible to everyone, whether you're a beginner or an experienced tangler. No question is too small, so feel free to ask us in the comments. And better yet, don't forget to join our lively Sunday virtual art lab. It's a perfect place to connect with like-minded artists from around the world and get your questions answered. You can get all that information in the description of this video. And for your convenience, I have now added chapters in the video descriptions so you can easily jump to the step out or follow the pattern drawing step by step. Check the video description for quick navigation. But first, before we dive into today's tangle, let's take a moment to revisit the beautiful patterns we've explored in the past few days. On day 14, we learned Prima, our ballerina style floral tangle. She was so much fun. Followed by Scara on day 15, and then Walnuts, an easy heart with nuts overtone tangle on day 16. It's always a pleasure to learn and create together. Now let's get started with today's tangle, Acropolis, deconstructed by Joanna Quincy, CZT. Joanna came up with this tangle after visiting the Acropolis in Athens in October of 2022. She was also very surprised to be chosen to be one of the 31 days tangling during Inktober Tangles 2023. She also went to the Acropolis Museum and saw pictures of fragments of old walls, and the tangle began to be formed in her mind. For your convenience, I've added chapters in the video description so you can easily jump to the step out or follow the pattern drawing step by step. Check the video description for quick navigation. So here we are on the studio desktop, and we are looking at today's step out and the pattern that we're going to draw, and the 2-inch bijou tile that I will be drawing this pattern on. Now, first, let's take a look at the supplies. I'm using the basic supplies that I've done every day, but if this is your first day joining us, here we go. I use a Micron 01 for the fine lines. I use an 08 for the inking. I use my mechanical graphite pencil for just the sketching. I have a different pencil that I use for shading, and a shading, it's hiding over here. We call this this is a blending tool. This is a stump and a blending stump. And then we have the gold pen that I use for embellishment. So now it's time to take a screenshot and of day 17, Acropolis. The category that this fits in is border and frame. Now I put it in another category as well, and that's high focus. So because this is a beginner channel, and we will be starting our beginner series in November, stay tuned for that. Don't forget to subscribe and get notified when that occurs. This particular tangle I would call an intermediate, and it really takes a high focus to get it. So I want to put that out there, especially for all of you beginners that have joined this channel. Please don't get frustrated during the learning process. Follow me step by step. Create a copy of the step out on your practice sheet. And you get, when you register for the beginner's guide that comes with the Sunday meetup registration. And the reason that I suggest this is that if you notice, we have 6 steps in this step out. And if you draw this step out for your files, you will be drawing this pattern. You will be concentrating and focusing on it 6 times, and you'll get the hang of it and see where you might miss the mark along the way. And I highly suggest that you create your own step out following this one that I've created. Okay, so this tangle starts with creating a border. So if you take a look at the step out, step 1, you'll see that there is, we're gonna do a line at the top, and then we're gonna aura it. And then we're going to come down, and we're going to create another border on the back, on the bottom. Now we're going to come in and we're going to put 3 U shapes. And we're going to position them. I'm going to start in the middle. So here's one. Leave room at the top. Okay, so we've now started with a U shape. Make sure you leave some room at the top, and then we'll put another one on this side, on the left side, the other one on the right side. That's the basic beginning of this pattern. Okay, we're going to do step 2, and I'm not going to lie, this pattern, it took me a while to get the right shape. And so I even put now some little guidelines that I'm going to ink over. So when you come around, you're going to do like a curve. It's going to curve in, and then it's going to come out. So that's curving in, and then it comes out. Curve that in, give it a nice, beautiful, graceful curve. And then come to the other side, in, and then out at the bottom. I turn my tile because I need to get that angle right. And there. This was the trickiest part for me. So, and also the other tricky part was the first time I did this, I didn't leave space up here at the top for step 3, which is we are going to aura this line that we just drew. Take your time, breathe. hopefully I've been able to simplify this enough so that you can get this pattern. We like to say in Zentangle that and in the Zentangle method, that there are no mistakes in Zentangle and only opportunities. And so when I drew in these two border lines, I didn't take the pattern to the border line. So if you check your step out, the pattern actually comes to the borderline. So the opportunity that I have now added to this pattern is that I'll do some sort of embellishment down here, and I'll follow it up at the top to even it out and make a design, make a border design. So that's how you can take a misstep and turn it into an opportunity. And I really love that philosophy, because if we apply that in our life, it works really well too. So we're still on step 3. And step 3, we did the aura around these. They almost look like bowling pins. But I actually, when I look at them, I see 3 nuns. Anyway, that's what I get. So in here, we're going to create a V. We want that V to line up down the center and try to get each of these lines here at the same place. That's a little off center. I could maybe give it a little more of a set up a little. And then this we have several patterns coming up that are precise. And I've devised a few different ways with guidelines so that we can get them lined up as the artist intended. So that we finished step 3, we move on to step 4. And step 4 is where we're going to put a halo around the around this figure here, and it comes all the way down to here. It basically is a Y down the center. And then over here. So that's step 4. Now step 5, we're going to come in to this aura right here, and we're going to give it a line. And that's coming from the top. So I'm going to do that on the other side. I need to turn my tile to get the right angle. And so I'm going to do all those at the same time. Then I'll turn my tile back. And I'll get this. This is inside this line here, not outside where the Y was. I made that mistake too. So that's step 5. Now step 6, I'm going to pick up my 08, and I'm going to do some inking. So this inside here, I'm going to try to ink this so that you can see what I'm doing. But I like to hold my pen on the side, and it seems like it's running out of ink on the side. So I'm just gonna put some major ink in here, and I'm gonna follow it up with my smaller nib so that I can make it even. But I want to get the major part here. Keeping my hand in the same place and moving the tile. Okay, now I'm gonna go find my one again. If you have a micron 5 or a 3, 2, you know, anything larger than a 1, that can help. You can try that too. So I'm just gonna come around. Hey, I hope if you're enjoying these videos that you would subscribe. Really helps the channel. It helps us grow. Hit the like button. That helps others like yourself find this video on YouTube when they're searching, and they may be looking for a beginner channel. And we have definitely beginners program in November. We're going to be offering Sunday meetups and weekly videos and other goodies, discussion group where you can ask your questions during the week. That's all coming. If you're a beginner and this is your first time and this is the first tangle you're trying, give it a whirl, and maybe, but don't get frustrated, join the group. And for those that want to give a little bit of extra support, think about, I just created a Ko-fi.com, buy us a coffee tip jar, Ko-fi.com. The link is in the description. It really helps. I put a lot of effort and time into putting this together for you. So a little bit of extra appreciation sure would be wonderful. So I colored those in. But now I have one other place where we're going to be doing the inking, and I think I'm going to stay with the 1. And this is actually where that Y is. So it separates each one of these little I just see the mother. I see the mother in this pattern. This pattern by Joanna Quincy, CZT. She was on a trip to Athens and was at Acropolis, and she saw patterns and designs, and she created this pattern. And I think that's really cool to be learning patterns that were done thousands of years ago. I do love to bring in the ancestors in my life. And that's what I see here, actually. So that's the end of step 6. Now it's time for embellishment. And so okay, so it's embellishment time and it's shading time. So first, before we start to embellish, I'm going to add some shading. Using my 01, I'm going to create an aura here and here. Here. And in there, I'm going to put some orbs. Now I'm going to shade. Where I'm going to shade is I want to add some rounding here. So I'm going to come on it. I'm going to actually come down on both sides. And if you noticed over here, I didn't blacken, I did stripes. So that's another alternative. There are many options once you start moving into the embellishments, and that's really where it gets a lot of fun. So learning and and it comes with practice. So Inktober Tangles is a great time to get into a practice routine. Maybe set aside 15 minutes in the morning. Use a 2-inch tile, and you can draw a pattern in the morning. It keeps you learning and giving memory for your hands and your eye and brain to create these patterns. So I've done some shading, done a little bit of shading. Now I'm going to embellish with my gold. And I think what I want to do is, this is just kind of off the cuff. Okay. And the next thing is that I'm not going to do it on this. I'll show you once I finished it, but I'm going to work on the borders. So I'm not going to do anything with the borders right now. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to there you have it. This is day 17, the pattern Acropolis. Leave some comments on this video as to how this pattern was for you, and what helped you and what questions you still have about how to do the pattern. For your convenience, I've added chapters in the video description. If you have to review a special part of the video, so you can easily jump to the step out or follow the pattern drawing step by step, check the video description for quick navigation. If you're enjoying our tutorials and haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. It helps us reach more people like yourself. Don't forget about our Sunday virtual art lab. It's a vibrant community where we learn, share, and grow together. Check the description for all the details. As we look ahead, mark your calendars for our upcoming beginner series in November. It's a perfect opportunity to deepen your Zentangle practice. Plus, for those who'd like to show a little support to this channel, you can buy us a virtual cup of coffee. Visit our Ko-fi.com tip jar. Your support keeps this creative space going. Well, that's it for today's Tangle exploration. Remember, there's no behind, just a world of creativity ahead. Stay inspired, and we'll see you on day 18, Zudo.